Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Urgent. This is a breaking news report.
Do-do-do. Do-do-do.
Devious plots, hidden agendas, and a secret society behind it all. Hidden in plain sight. Detective D-Magician 2500 reports on the Highway Flashers. For most of my life, I've been living ignorant of people's problems, until I stumbled across a problem of my own. Now, I've driven on many highways and roads over the course of my life up until this point, paying little or no attention to the drivers and surroundings around me. But all that was about to change forever. The following report is years in the making, meticulously recorded and tediously presented to you now. While under the cover of darkness, driving on highways over the course of multiple years, I would sometimes notice in my rear view mirror flashes of light. They would come from other drivers' headlights, and sometimes it would be multiple times. While at first I tossed this aside as glare from the sun or normal headlights in a car while hitting a bump in the road, over time I came to realize it was not accidental, and it happened not only during night, but also was occurring in broad daylight. So I started my investigation. Many sleepless nights passed before I began to piece together what it was that I was witnessing. Were they flashing their lights at me? Did I do something wrong? Now I have a spotless driving record, so reason told me that I was not the reason. It soon became apparent that this behavior would occur more frequently a few miles after passing patrol officers on the side of the road. Once this correlation was discovered, I observed that almost solely this happened within 1 to 5 miles after passing the patrol officers, and only when their flashes would be visible to the opposite flow of traffic on the highway. Thus, they were not flashing me, but they appeared to be warning oncoming drivers of a potential speed trap. What did I do then? Well, I performed a rigorous study and observed thousands of drivers on the road. My results? Well, they speak for themselves. It was found that drivers were 27% more likely to flash their headlights to oncoming traffic if they themselves were traveling faster than the posted speed limit, if they were passing me in the left lane, and if they themselves had a more aggressive driving behavior. Also to note that drivers were 63% less likely to flash their headlights to oncoming traffic if they themselves were not speeding, if they did not see the patrol officer on the side of the road in the first place, and if they want to see other drivers that speed get caught and ticketed. At the conclusion of my study, I realized that I was not a subjective observer, so I started writing another report on why my investigation might be compromised. But I decided it didn't matter. This story needed to see the light of day anyway. Back to my original report. While submitting my final report to the Office of Higher Investigations, it came to my knowledge that I had a strong opinion on why I believed this behavior was wrong. I do not speed, and I strongly believe that people who do speed are doing so illegally. People are more likely to speed if they do not get caught or do not face any consequences. Why, therefore, would anyone knowingly warn drivers that are performing an illegal driving act? The answer was clear. Other drivers that have been known to speed have been recruiting drivers for the past 30 years into a secret society that has devised a devious code to protect themselves and other members from getting caught in this illegal act. Why? To avoid fines, tickets, and to get places faster. This has been happening in plain sight for decades.
Here's the code.
The code was flashing the high beams even in broad daylight, sometimes multiple times to warn other drivers.
The code.
The fact of the matter is plain and simple. This behavior is wrong and dangerous. The fact is, speed traps are meant to make the roads safer for drivers by catching and bringing consequences to people that drive unsafe, such as speed offenders. The fact is, police are not just trying to make quotas. Speed quotas no longer exist in most states, and in some cases are specifically prohibited by law. The traps are there to keep you and your loved ones safer on the road, and to discourage people from speeding and other reckless behavior. So the secret is now exposed. Where do we go from here? It's simple. We start the process of stopping them. If you or someone you know is involved or has been involved with the secret society known as the Highway Flashers, please stop involvement immediately and let them know what they are doing is immoral and potentially making the roads more dangerous. However, be nice about it. Don't start a conflict. But don't encourage this behavior either. If enough people leave the secret society, perhaps we can begin to reduce the levels of speeding on our highways once again. We must stop the highway flashers or risk the collapse of civilization on a scale never seen before or since.
Never seen.
And there you have it. The report.
The report.
The exposure.
The exposure.
Of secret society. Hidden.
Secret
plain
society. Hidden in
This
plain
is
sight.
Detective D Magician 2500 signing off. D Magician 2500 thanks you for watching this important breaking news program.